TJ, let's start in Vermilion on Wednesday, and you got off to the start you wanted, up 6 early, Mike Dom's on fire, and then the shots just stopped falling for you.
Yeah, I thought we played really impatient offensively. We rushed a lot of quick shots. Some shots we didn't really want. I think part of it was they did a good job defensively taking some things away from us early. We didn't have great patience on the road in a tough environment, and that led to them, us taking some tougher shots as it went on and got them going a little bit in transition.
Did that impatience, do you think that played into the fact you had no offensive rebounds because maybe you guys weren't in a position to rebound because of that impatience?
I do. I think we just, we shot it so quickly, and oftentimes it was a jump shot from three. And, again, it's not as much for us. We'll take a lot of threes, but it's a big difference if it comes off of, penetration in the lane. We get guys in rebounding position, and just felt like on Wednesday we were shooting quick ones where we weren't in position to rebound. And, they were very aware of who we were, and they were tough shots.
I saw a couple of your players after the game talk about things like losing poise and being on their heels. Is that an environment thing because, just things were so raucous down there? Or what do you think was the key to that?
Yeah, I think a couple things happened. I think, one, we had played so well for so long that we hadn't been in a position like that. I do think the environment was a factor. Certainly I thought it was a good environment for them that way. And I just think things, we've been a team that offensively has operated at such a high level, and then when that wasn't going so well, like a lot of our guys, had the mindset of, I probably need to make a shot now and get this turned around, and we needed more of a, focus and emphasis on moving the ball and being patient, and not the mindset we're going to get it all back with one shot.
Another one of the surprising numbers was only shooting 50% at the line. I mean, you guys are ordinarily a good free throw shooting team.
Yeah, and that's something too. I mean, especially on the road and you're playing a good team on the road, you can't leave those points on the board, and you've got to cash in when you have those opportunities. And I think as a result of that, they had some pretty good runs and stretches, and it wasn't necessarily that it was they were up big from start to finish, but they had a couple of 12-0 runs in stretches. We took quick shots and didn't cash in at the foul end and put us in a tough spot.
So going into the game at home against Fort Wayne on Saturday, were you curious to see how you guys were going to respond?
I was, and I think, there's a big part of it, too, is that, there's a lot of, Wednesday night, a lot of mental and physical taxing game. Now, we practice, early in the day, so morning practice Thursday, and just a quick turnaround because now you got to focus your attention on Fort Wayne. So I think it was really important to me to see, especially how we start that game off, just, how intentional we were to doing what we needed to do.
One of the things you did very well in that first half was defend very well. They only shot 28%, just made 2 threes, and the defense that Tevin King played on Bryson Scott was very good.
Yeah, I thought our first half we really guarded. I thought Tevin particularly stood out with what he did on Bryson Scott, who's, one of the best scorers, or definitely the second best scorer to Dom in the league, and I think he did a great job, and I think our guys are really focused. We did a good job defending the three-point line, defending in transition for the most part. As a result, we're coming out, going in the half up 17.
And then you forget, these guys are prolific scorers on the other end with Scott and Conchar and those guys, and so they put together some shots, and all of a sudden they start falling for them, and next thing you know, you got a tie game on your hands.
Yeah, I think there were certainly similarities there to what transpired on Wednesday, too. We were a little bit impatient, just not quite the poise, and again, totally different setting. Now we're at home, and now we're up by a big number, so now that poise is totally different, and it's got to still be, more ball movement, more intentional with what we're doing, and just kind of relax. And I thought we became a little bit casual and allowed them to get back into the game.
But in this case, the free throws did fall for you when you needed them the most, and then your defensive effort at the end, forcing them into a three at the end, obviously got you the game.
Yeah, it was important. I mean, again, when it's late, teams a lot of times want to try to force action to the rim. We do usually a reasonably good job at guarding the three-point line and locating shooters, and as a result, I think they had to take a tougher shot, and we're fortunate to come away with Tevin King with the rebound and get fouled, or flatten with the rebound and get the win.
So you finished the first half with one loss, and obviously that's one loss more than you'd like to have. But what are your thoughts about your team's effort in the first half of the season?
I thought it was good. I mean, I'm proud of our guys. I'm happy with what we've done. We certainly have a lot of work to do and things we can improve upon. But anytime, I mean, you go on the road for, those 7-4 on the road, you go 3-1 on the road. It's hard to do. It's hard to do in any league. It's really hard to do in the Summit this year just because there's a lot of teams on a given night that can be really good. So happy with where we stand at the midway point, but also very aware of a lot of areas we need to improve upon if we're going to have the second half of the conference play that we'd like to have.
You are home this week, but it's a quick turnaround. Already Tuesday night, Omaha's in. Then again, you turn around and then play Thursday against North Dakota State. Let's start with Omaha. Just 2-5 in the first half. Their biggest problem has been defense. They're last in points allowed, and they really have not played well on the road this year.
Yeah, they had quite an experienced team last year, with Hollins and Thurman and Marcus Tyus. And so they've got new guys being put in new positions. I think for them now, having Hahn back is a big deal. A guy who's a veteran for him and started down the stretch for them last year as they played us in the conference tournament championship. And so they've kind of been bitten by the injury bug, but they're finally healthy. And so I think now they're playing at a little higher level, and we've got to make sure that, last year they came in here and won, that we do a great job from start to finish and control what we can.
You saw a lot of Zach Jackson in that first meeting. He took a season high against you in terms of his 23 attempts. You anticipate that kind of a night where they're going to focus on him as much?
It could be. I mean, he's a challenging matchup for us. At the 4 spot as a guard, it's tough, and then when he plays the 3 as a bigger wing, he's he's an experienced player. He's in his 3rd year in the league, and he's a versatile scorer. So he's certainly someone they look to get going, and definitely did against us. And we've got to do a great job as a team defensively, making sure that we make things difficult for them.
Certainly one of your best three-point shooting nights of the year against them when you hit 13 of them and hit 57% from behind the line, and that's going to win you a lot of games.
No, it will, and I think the way we were getting those threes off, pink touches, post touches, kick-out threes. I know Dom had a couple times we threw him in the post. He made a simple pass, and we hit the 3 off of it. So those are the threes we really like to get when we can try to collapse the defense or get them to break down and then kick it out and have our feet set. And the more of those we can get, the better. And certainly it was going well for us in Omaha that night.
And like I said, a quick turnaround. Then all of a sudden you turn around and you host North Dakota State on Thursday. This is a team that went 4-3 in the first half, but they've won a couple in a row, starting to get things figured out. Second in points scored. They're also second in field goal percentage and three-point percentage as well. And Paul Miller, in his last 2 games, 51 points and hitting 60% from the floor.
Yeah, he's playing at an extremely high level. I mean, he played great against us last time, and now he's maintained that level in league play. I mean, he's outstanding. One of the best scoring guards in the conference and has been for years. And their offense is flowing well right now. They're sharing the basketball. They're making a lot of threes and doing it at a high rate. So, they're usually a team that hangs their hat more on their defense, and this year their offense has been really good for them. So, totally different game from Tuesday to Thursday. Fortunately, we're in front of our fans and feed off their energy and frost. So hopefully we have a great turnout and can get a great team win both nights in 2 totally different games.
Seemed like the big difference at their place the first time was your second half defense against them, because both of you shot the ball very well in the first half.
Yeah, we had a stretch there in the second half. We were really good, and I think we can be in stretches. And I think it was, from about the 15-minute mark to about the 7 or 8-minute mark defensively, we strung together a bunch of stops and kind of put them on their heels. So I think for our group, if we can just continue to improve defensively and get those stops, kind of playing that flow and rhythm offensively, that's when we're at our best. And we did a really good job with that when we were in Fargo.
Are you guys where you want to be health-wise right now?
Yeah, everybody's got bumps and bruises and guys that are sore and nicked up, but we don't have any major injuries right now. And so we're happy about that. We're fortunate for that. Hopefully that will continue.